Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. It's Angela, the Traveling Crafter, and I'm here for a fun video. If you're new, welcome to the channel, and if you're returning, thanks for being here as always. You know how much I love you all. And I have been out of the craft room for some time, and I am chomping at the bit to get back to work. So recently I had a new channel pop up on my feed, and her name is Becca Ray. Which, man, she's got to be cool. She's got the same middle name as me. And she was doing a little embossing type of background, which, you know how I love my mixed media. I don't do it a lot, but I do love to bust out all of the things, which I have done. So it's time for me to do a video so I can put it all back away. Here's what we are going to do. This actually is not a very good representation of what we're going to make because this was kind of the overflow tag that I just used and kind of stuck stuff on there on the background. So there is one example. Here's another. And we're just going to be layering this up and then maybe doing a little bit of decorating as well. And then this was the first sample that I made. And I think you're going to like it. It's really simple. And if you don't subscribe to Becca, go check her out. Show her some love. Tell her I sent you. So what we're going to do is I will explain to you what you will need. Obviously, you'll probably need some glue when we decorate. You'll need some tags. See, this is another one of those that I just keep adding stuff to and blotting things up. These are just a cardstock tag. They were a little bit, not shiny, but they were just a little bit slick. So I roughed them up just a tad. I grabbed 3 stencils that I think might work for this. I grabbed a whole bunch of different inks. And we're going to focus on the kind of, I think the oranges, the greens maybe today, yellows, kind of like this one up here. And I got some distress sprays. You do not have to have these, but I have them out. I have a little black gesso if in case we want to splatter. And most importantly, sorry about that. I have to take Dave's car in to get a couple of things done. And that was Landon saying he could pick me up because otherwise I'd have to hitch it. Where was I? I have my, this. I have some detailed clear embossing powder. I don't know what. My heat tool. Goodness gracious. And I also have some stamps. And these are just like phrases. It was the quickest thing that I could pick out. They're not perfect, but I think that they will work. And I do have some water in case we need it. I've got something to do splatters. And I do have this. So I found that it worked better if I put, instead of just doing it, you know, going like this, it just worked for me. It worked better if I did it like this. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that we are going to do is I did grab my StazOn. So this, no matter what layers I put over it, which really doesn't matter if we're going to emboss over it, but it won't bleed. So that's why I used this. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to pick out which template we want. And I kind of feel like, okay, did I use this one? We're going to try this one. I think I did use it, and all I'm going to do is place this over the top. Can you guys see? Can you see? And I'm going to put, I'm not doing the whole thing. I'm just going to kind of do a few different spots here. Let's do it this way. And I'm just kind of pressing that down so it's in between. I didn't press that down very well. Shoot. Let's go down here. I gotta move this. Of course, I've done this how many times and it turned out great. And then now I do it and it's not. There we go. As per usual, Zenny is digging her way to somewhere. Let's do one right in the middle. All right. good enough. Oh, I kind of want something up there too. And maybe down here. All right. I'm going to do a little bit right there. And I do have just a regular piece of paper underneath here to catch anything so it doesn't get on my, not that it matters that if it gets on my cutting mat, but this is permanent, so I'd rather not have to scrub at it to get it off. So there we go. We'll mark this just so that is as clean as it's probably going to get. There we go. Okay, next what she did, and this is where she kind of moved a little bit, well, she moved pretty quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open this embossing detail bottle, which is risky for me anyway. And let's move these up here a little bit more so they're out of the way. I'm going to grab my heat gun so it's near me. And now we're going to, before we do anything else, we're going to pick some colors. So I've got this orange and yellow one. I'm thinking maybe let's do green. This is Mowed Lawn. This is the Distress Ink. Oh no, I have the hiccups. I have Shabby Shutters and I have Peeled Paint. So for the sake of figuring this out, let me grab one more. I think what I want to do is, and I know I don't remember, but I think she started with the lightest color, but I don't really remember. So let's just color swatch these right here. Okay, there's Peeled Paint. Here is Mowed Lawn. Ooh, that's really like a Kelly green. I got a Kelly green shirt on. We better keep these together. And this is Shabby Shutters, and I don't think I better use that same. Let me see if I can find one more. There it is. One more that I haven't used. Okay. And Shabby Shutters I also have as Distress Spray too. So, oh yeah. All right, so we're going to start with that one. And what she did is she put... Now, she was a lot more succinct in how she did this, but we're just going to go a little crazy here. And this is where she worked kind of quick. And what she did was got all of these on and over her, all the designs over her inked areas. And then she went over it with the detailed ink, embossing powder. Jeez, Ange. She set it, and then we move on to the next step. So that's what we're going to do. And the beauty of this is, you can be as meticulous as you wish, or you can just do what I'm doing and just kind of go rogue and go crazy. Okay, so we've got that on there. We're going to quickly... What did I tell you? This is a dangerous thing for me to do. I knew it. I knew it. All right, I'll clean that up in a minute. So we're just going to use a whole bunch of this. Then I got to clean off. Of course, that didn't land on my mat either. So there's that. Well, you get mishaps in the craft room. And I just like to go like this. So I make sure everything gets covered. Now, because I have a little spillage, I'm going to do this. Oh, bear with me, friends. Bear with me. Because I don't want to waste this. Let me get something else here. This will work. you'll see how you have to. Okay, let's clean that up. Let's get this in here first. So let's make one mess at a time, right? So put all that back. Give it a couple tap-a-dilly taps. Then we're going to kind of see if I can get this on here. Put it on there. Sort of okay-ish. Ooh, there's something, glue or something on there. So I hope you guys have been having a great couple of weeks. Like I said, it's been, I'm not doing very good at this, but it's been a little bit cray-cray on my end of the world. And I have been working, painting at the lake. Let me clean this all up because this is just a mess. And I am going to be home for a couple weeks, so I'm excited about that. I probably won't go up there, which I know it's kind of delaying getting stuff done, but both Demi, or Rhea, she has sort of moved in. I need to go and take a bunch of stuff to her, but Dave got her initially moved into her new apartment, and Demi and Landon are moving into theirs kind of at the same time, which is, I don't know, maybe the second week in August. All right, here we go. Now, let me light this up. It's going to get loud, so if you need to turn down the volume, please do that now. And I let this warm up just a little bit. All right, this might not have worked because I spent so much time cleaning up and I should have went right after it, but we'll do another one, so just in case I goofied. All right, now, and the reason that she did this and put the embossing powder over it is that now when we go in with our second layer, then we can wipe off over the top. Does that make sense? So we're going to try it and see what happens. So now I'm going to just go over all of this. And truthfully, I don't remember if she did the same thing or not. But again, I'm going to, if you want a different iteration and the way she did it, then go check her out. And thank you, Renee, for the inspiration. I have done similar, techniques, but I personally have never used embossing powder over just ink. I've always used like a VersaFine embossing pad to put it over the top. Darn it. Okay, so now what she did, and I don't think it's going to work that well in my case, but we're going to give it a go. I'm going to just put a little bit of water on there. And I'm just going to go over and see if that lightens it up any. Not really. Yeah, see, I waited too long. Well, we'll do our best. The next one will be better, and I won't spill the embossing powder. How about that? I mean, it kind of clears it up, but not really. Now, what we could do, let's just do a squirt or two. No, let's do this first. Let's take some of the mowed lawn. And let's just kind of, I mean, because this is really dark. And the contrast is pretty distinct. So it's going to give it quite a different look. And then I think what I'll do is I'll go over with maybe I don't know, maybe vintage photo, maybe something. I'm just going to take my wet paper towel and just kind of I kind of want a little bit in here too. Let's put this back where it goes. Sorry for the reachy reach. All right, what I think I will do, let's just take and get a few little droplets on here, and I'm gonna use my heat gun again, so it'll be loud for a second, and then I'll fast forward it. And I'm just gonna dry those up. That just added a little bit extra. I'm fairly certain she did not do that, but we're going to do it. Okay, so now I think what we should do to give it another little, let's just use my vintage photo. And we'll go again, maybe not quite so much, just around the edge. I don't know if I'm going to like, let's try this shabby shutters as well. Just a tip, when you're mixing these distress sprays, just shake them like this. Don't shake them like that. Apparently they start to leak and then you get bubbles and it's all that. Okay, let's go over here to see it. Okay, that's fine. Let me clean this up. I've got a nice dress on today, so I probably should not. Now, I don't have vintage photo in the distress spray, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move this down, and I'm going to take my vintage, let's see, what else do I have over here? Yeah, my vintage photo, and I'm just going to press some on here like that, and we're going to make a little spray, but we're just going to use my fan brush. And we're just going to tap a little bit on there. Just for, I mean, you could do that if you wanted. Just for a different look. You know, do whatever, however the spirit moves you. All right, let's take one of these. Let's see, this one was my... See how that one, you can see where the ink was? Or I'm sorry, the embossing fluid, it doesn't get onto that circle. That's what it's supposed to look like. Okay, let's put that up there. Clean this off. Here we go. I'm going to dry again. I'm going to put that under there because that's a little wet too. That almost looks like leaves, doesn't it? And I think we will finish it up with the teensiest bit of, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a little bit of water right there. Then I'm going to simply take my I barely need any, so I'm just kind of trying to get it as dark. I don't want to put a whole glob on there, so I'm just trying to get it to come to the end. Whoa, see what I'm saying? That was a little much. Goodness, I got the dropsies today. There we go. See, barely, I mean, all I did was stick that fan inside of that just to get it where I needed it. All right, now we're going to tappy tap tap, and I do it kind of close so that way it doesn't go all over the place. It still will go a little bit off my sheet, and if you want it more intense on a certain area, just keep it there and keep tappy tapping. That's all there is to it. I like that look. All right, I'm going to wipe this off on the nasty one here. Set that there. Clean this up. See, I got a few little droplets over here. Not too bad. But save this sheet too, because we can make all kinds of fun things out of that afterwards, right? Okay, I'm going to dry this a little bit. Hold, please. All right, I think we're going to call that one good. I'm going to set this one aside, and we're going to do another one and hopefully do it right. I'm doing this because I still can feel a little bit of that grit on there, and I don't want that on here. Let's use a different... Should we use this one? She used one similar to this, I think. It wasn't the same one, I don't think. I'm not sure where I got this one. All right, so we're going to grab our StazOn out again. This time, I don't know. That one seems to be working pretty well for me. I'm just looking to see. Here, let's try this one. I haven't used this one. I don't even know what it will look like. It might look... We'll just try one. Not that one. Let's try this one. We'll just try one go at it, and if we don't like it, then we can grab the other one. All right, so this design down here is different than this design up here. So we're just going to concentrate on this design. I got to angle it a little bit different. Oh, I feel like I just... Not sure I love that one. It's really tiny. See how tiny that is? I think we're going to stick to the one I was using. It's a little bit bigger. I have ones that are really, would be really perfect for this, but I couldn't get my hands on them. All right, let's try all of this. Just to mix it up a bit. Okay. I think that there would be some better ones that because I'm really, what you want is one with lots of space in them, like this circle one, but I don't have a lot like that. So we're just going to make it work. And that's how you do it. I'm going to go right over this so there's a bigger spot. Yeah. Let's see if we can get this one. Well, that was terrible. Okay. Like I said, I don't have all the same things that she had, so you just got to work with what you got. You probably won't have the same things I have. All right, now what we're going to do is this time we're going to work a little bit faster. So how about I leave the lid on this while we do this? Now, this time, I think we want to use a different color. How about, let's see, this, I used yellow and orange. I'm looking at what I have out. You know, I've got this. Let's move all of these, because I'm not going to be using these again. Let's clean up a little bit, Ange. Let's put all those greens together. All right, we'll put those away later. And then I've got some oranges and yellows that I think will work. So I do have abandoned coral. So let's take a look at what that, here, let's see. I bet I have some on there already, which is not abandoned coral. But that's what abandoned coral looks like. And yes, I do use my daubers on other colors. You know, that's just how I roll sometimes. This one is lighter, so it probably needs to be, here we go. Oh, I need to put that with the one I just used it on, though. Okay, that's saltwater taffy. There we go. Spiced marmalade. I'm using it on this, and I'm going to use this for the abandoned coral. Spiced marmalade, that's pretty. And then, of course, we have mustard seed. So let's just try the mustard seed. This one I must have got at like a yard sale or something. Well, I'm thinking we go with the saltwater taffy and do that first. So I'm going to move pretty quickly, hopefully. Also, if you do this in a circular motion, you get more ink on your sponge. And I want these to be a little bit bigger so we can maybe see it a little bit better. And I'm just kind of going in no particular order. But hopefully it'll work a little bit better this time. Oh, darn it. You could use a little piece of tape to hold this down, but you got to be fast. All right, let's pop this on there. Put that on the top so you don't get powder on it. And quickly put your powder on. And as you can see on mine, I didn't do all of the areas like up here and stuff, but that's fine. And I'm pretty liberal about this. Okay, hang on. What's that little thing? I don't know what that was. All right, now we're gonna shaky, lightly tap it off. And I'm just gonna put this right back in right now so I don't make a mess. There we go, put the lid on it, and then I'm gonna start drying this really quick. And hopefully you'll be able to see this a little bit better. Let us hope. All right, that took way longer than I expected. I think I'm going to use this abandoned coral. Let me make sure. Yeah, I'm going to use this, and this time I'm just going to go over all of it. Now let me show you what's supposed to happen. Is you take your, mine's a little damp. It just doesn't work as well because it's, I don't know. Hers worked great. I don't know. Becca, if you're watching, what am I doing wrong? It worked fine on the others. Came right off. I do love these colors together. All right, let's just try to... Maybe I should have started... I thought she started with a lighter color. And see, I'm taking the... And she may have also used a dry paper towel or wipe. That could have been it too. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some yellow and just kind of go around where I just pulled that away, just to kind of bring it all, pull it all together. All right, that's good. And then I'm going to take the dry side of this and just go over all of it. Just kind of blend it together. It doesn't do a whole lot, but all right, now where was that marmalade at? Or did I just use spice marmalade? No, I did not. Okay, let's try this. This is pretty, this one was pretty intense. And I don't think on this one, I don't think I want the, I'm not a big, you know, fan of distressing anyway. At least with the darker colors. So I think I'm going to leave this one a little bit like it is. And I also feel like, okay, on one of these other ones, I use like a pinky color. Let's see if I have one that's still kind of, not that one. Got some ink on it. That'll work. Because you know how I like my orange and pink. So let's just try to add some of that in. And you know, there's no right or wrong way to do this. You do you. You do you, boo. You just keep playing with it and having fun. Remember, half of this is going to be covered up anyway, so... And I'm just going to go over that so that kind of pops. There we go. Okay, I'm calling that good. Now, I'm going to flip this over. No, I think I want to do some white. Okay, first of all, I'm going to do some wild honey. And then I think I'm going to get some white paint and do some splatters with white. Dry it, see what it looks like, and then maybe do some, I don't think I'm going to use black. I think I'm going to go lighter on this. See that wild honey? It's, look, see that? It will kind of get in if you don't shake it the right way. So I probably didn't when I did it. Let's do this. Oh, and you know what else we can do? Hold on. See this? We can see if, oh, no. I thought I had one of them that I accidentally did that with, and it looked really cool. So I'm kind of going at an angle so I can keep it from, if you have a splatter box, which I do have, you could use that too. And then we're just going to dry that. There's so many things you can do with this distress spray. That's for sure. Okay, let me... All right, as I was drying, I have some, I think some pink would be awesome, but my Kitsch Flamingo is just about out. And so I can't, it doesn't really spray very well, but I think that would be a nice, really nice bold contrast instead of using black or white. So let's see what comes out. And then I can, look at my hands. And then I can, see what I'm saying right there? That one worked. Okay, so we're just going to try to do this and see if we can get it to come out. Oh, there it worked. And I kind of want it to be heavy. There we go. Ooh, I likey. Okay, so what we can do, where's my little sample one? Let's just soak all this up here that we can. All right, now we're going to dry this again. Look at that big blob. Let's see what happens. And it will move, and that's fine too. See how that one's moving? All right. I absolutely adore the marble effect. And I like to do that, but you sometimes can't plan it. So the fact that this turned out like this, we're going to leave well enough alone, and we're going to decorate. But I'm going to leave this on here for just a little bit. We'll do this one in a sec. What we're going to go back to is our green one that we started with. Let me clean up just a little bit. I'm just moving the inks out of the way, and that way my cleanup will be just a little bit less. I'm putting the oranges with the oranges, the greens with the greens, you know the drill. Okay. Now, we need to pick out some stuff to go on the top of it. So, I have my flowers out. And you know what? Actually, what we can do while we're doing, even though that's still drying, let's kind of dig. I'm digging out. This is my new cart with my all organized by topic or by category. These are all flowers. Oh gosh. Let's see what we got here. That, if it was pink, would be, I could grab out my butterflies. That could be an option. I don't like all of that white around it, but we have a solution for that. Okay. Ooh. I do have some butterflies. That might be really pretty on there. I think she did butterflies and a flower. And it was very pretty. That was the same one. I was just thinking maybe it would work. Let's see what this rose, which is really, oh no, it's got, I mean, I guess I could cut it out, but I was thinking if it was all kind of neutral there. I'm sorry you can't see this very well as I'm digging. I love these, but they're too multicolored. We could go tropical. And sometimes you just throwing things down there, you know, seeing what it looks like. Those are just leaves. We're just going to kind of layer this up too. Oh my gosh. So last night we had this huge rainstorm, and early this morning, I get a call from my neighbor in Clear Lake. And we had a tree, a big tree limb that went down at the duplex. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I talked to her husband, and he's like, I'll send you pictures. No. It wasn't nearly as bad as I thought. And it missed everything. It missed the new fencing that Dave put up. It missed the garage. It missed the house. So it literally landed right in the middle of the driveway. So we have more guests coming shortly. So we got to get that cleaned up. Dave is obviously at work in Cedar Falls. So, oh my gosh, that's cute. But no. I might have to get my other one out with the flowers because I'm not seeing anything. Like, these are all going to be huge. Yeah, those are too big. But I have another one. Don't fret. We have more. These just don't seem to be calling me exactly. Let me look just a little bit deeper here. Yeah. All right. We're going to put this one back away. I have another one with flowers. Let's see what that one does for us. So I think my brother-in-law, who lives in Minnesota, I think that he said he had some trees down too. So I think he's going to help out. These are mostly, how do you say it? Is it pet or P-E-T? I don't know. I mean, I have lilies that are rental, but I don't usually like them on my, ooh, hold on. Oh boy. Let's move that aside. That might be okay. There's some more pink ones in here. Grab these out. I'm making a big old mess over here. I'm just seeing what this might look like. We kind of go all the way up the side. How about put those down, Ange? I can always cut off. Ooh, I kind of like that. How about you guys? Let's do it. Please tell me you like it. Or don't tell me anything at all. All right, that one's good. Well, now we need to add some additional pieces to it. Not loving that. But what else do we have here that might work? I want to keep on, ooh, that would have been pretty too, but I think that blends way too much with that, right? Ooh, now this might be something interesting. That might be kind of cool with our butterfly. And pull this down. I can always... Okay, then let's do that. Very simple, but we're going to add some numbers and tabs or labels or something with it. All right, let me put these back. That's why I'm loving these bins so much, is because it's just right here. Oh, it's fantastical. And at the time of this video, I'm not sure if you will have already seen that organizing video yet. Just so you know, I'm taking forever and a day to do this video, but I will be editing it, so it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Everything's fine. Let's see. We do have this. I could use something like that. These are kind of see-through, though, so I feel like I should put these on and go over this one at least, because it's very see-through. Where did I have this one about? We're winging it, kids. We're winging it. Let's see. Let's go. So that one's kind of by itself. And our tags will be on top of this one. And we're going to cut this off right now before we forget. Right, their base is done. Now we just got to add pretties to it. Now this, on the other hand, I don't know if this is a sticker. I think it is. Wow, your hands get pretty nasty really fast. You know, if you don't like to get your hands dirty, just wear gloves. I go through about 30 pairs of gloves every time I am up at the lake painting. I don't know that it really helps much, but... All right, we're going to kind of come down here so that that butterfly, which is kind of big... will fit and we can still see the flowers, okay? Trimming that up. Put our little butterfly on. Now, I, like Becca, like to just put glue down just the center. This is pretty big, so I'm not sure once I use it if that will work, but that's what we're going to do for now. I just think it looks cute. We'll make him kind of go like he's just flying off that. Flower. There we go. Okay. But I do think we need a little tab of some sort down here. Too big. We're kind of, ooh, look at these. And this one looks like it already has a, maybe. And this one's cool too. I kind of like this there, so I'm thinking maybe, let's see if I have an orange ticket handy. Ooh, I might. Do I? No, but do I have yellow? I have this that's yellow, but that's too much, I think. Too big, too. second. I just saw a couple things that I might use instead. Oh, please. We can use this for that, but what if we do just a little piece of that? Let's cut this down. Just a little one. And then maybe another one right here. Or you know what? I don't like this. Let's do this. We're going to cut this off here and at the bottom. So we still have the pink. And we're going to pop it right there. We're going to put this kind of down here. That's what we're doing. Let me get my glue. And I'm going to put a button there. That is what we're going to do with that one. Remember, friends, the rules are, there are no rules. Correct? It's art. And I'm trying just to use mostly what's on my desk. I do think we need something else there, but I'm not going to put it there. Oh my gosh, could this be pink or orange? It is. Oh my gosh. That's going right there. That was just a random button just laying there waiting to be right next to my button box. I'm okay with that. Oops, I have a piece I need to cut off here. All right, now let's put this on. This is literally just a scrap. I mean, I guess we could top it off with another piece of that orange. My hands are gluey, sticky, and inky. All right, we're going to leave that like it is. Okay, now down here, you may go right there. You missed that, but I just slam dunked that piece of orange right back into the scrap basket. Score for Angela today. Ooh, this is, oh no, wrong colors. Okay, pretend that's not there. What if we just use a little... I'm going to cut that off, and we're just going to do like 3 of them. We are going to ink this. I think we need one more piece, don't you? Ooh, this might kind of coordinate. Pop that blue in with it. And maybe we just make it kind of straight. You know, I'm usually not like that, but we need something here. Let's see if I have a little piece of green, or do I? I have some, oh, I have some blue rickrack. Will it fit in there? See if I can just take a piece of it. Just a tiny little piece so you can tell that it's rickrack. Staple it. And I like to do it like that. Oh, I gotta watch my time. Landon's gonna pick me up. So I need to make sure that I leave, my timing is right so he can meet me. He's at work. maybe we go opposite. So it's not all, yeah, that looks way better. All right, and I think I'm just gonna do this. So perhaps I'm just gonna glue here and here and here. So perhaps we could tuck some things into it if we wanted. And I'll do the same with, I'll just do it here and here. So stuff can go in it. And then we can do the same here and across here. So we can have all these mini little baby pockets if we so choose. There we go. Now, should I? No, I need different red. Let's see what I got. I'm sure, oh, here's some lace. This is a Happy Meal. Isn't that cute? Oh my goodness. Come on. I have to say, this vintage stuff, if I were a kid that had to wear something made with that, I'd be like, no thank you, man. It's scratchy. But it's so pretty. And there we have it. I'm going to stick a little dab of glue in here because I don't want to make a knot. And that will work. Okay. So now we have completed these. Now, did they turn out exactly how I wanted? No. But hopefully my new friend Miss Becca will give me some tips. Like I said, on this one and this one, it worked great. Like, I mean, you can tell I put orange over the top of it and it all came off, you know. And I don't know if I just didn't get enough, if I wasn't wet enough, if that color wasn't wet enough. But in a short order, we made some really fun tags. Now, you could do just a bunch of the, you know, messy part and just experiment with tons of things. And then come back later and just keep them as ready-made tags and then make them like this one will probably go in my ready-made tag, ready-to-make tags, and I'll just stick it in there, and then when I'm ready to decorate with something, I can use that. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was fun playing along with each of you. Please let me know what your favorite was and any advice that you might have. And until next time, friends, remember to take time to just be. I appreciate you. Cheers.